Zombies, huh? Had a feeling you'd show up. God, it's you. Look, don't sneak up on me.
Brad was attacked. I located him on the monitor. Ugh!
It's probably just a sprain.
I've gotta help Brad, or he's done for.
All right, fine. Give me your gun. Come on. I'm the reason you just got hurt. Let me help.
No, I can't let a civilian do that. That's against regulations.
Yeah, well, I don't think they had zombie-infested malls in mind when they wrote those regulations, kid.
You know how to use this?
Kinda. I've covered wars, you know. Look, after I'm through helping you, you and I are gonna have a nice little chat.
Get your aim right, brother. Yeah.
All right, looks like we found our next contestant.
Yeah. We're gonna take out that dude and snatch his old lady.
you're looking at it. We're at the San Diego Comic-Con. We're totally pimping out the Halo graphic novel. I worked on it a little bit. We helped with some of the writing and stuff, but right behind me are some of the world-famous artists that worked on the book, some of the world-famous writers that wrote in the book, and we're just having a blast here at Comic-Con. It's getting crazy. I think it's a really good expansion in the Halo universe. There's already people who started to pick out elements of the story that they're trying to apply to some Halo 3 thinking, and we're having fun watching that speculation. And of course, there's some deliberate stuff in there that is for the exact purpose of embroidering out details of the universe that you can't necessarily fit in a video game. So that's really what the project's been all about. It's been a great chance to work with these phenomenal artists and writers, and just really enjoyable all around.
Brett Lewis, and I wrote Second Sunrise over New Mombasa, illustrated by Mobius. It was actually one of the most positive experiences I've ever had in working on comics, which I've done for 10 years as a writer and others as an artist, but it was really smooth, and I was surprised by that, because usually when you work for a non-comics company doing comics, it's a nightmare. And when they first called me, I quoted them my highest rate, and then they told me that Mobius was one of the artists available, and I said, if you give me him, I'll pay you my highest rate. The story is about a guy who works for a PR firm that is controlled by the Office of Naval Intelligence. In the world of this takes place around, I would say, the Halo 2 video game, and it's this first invasion of the alien covenant coming to Earth, and that's as much spoiling as I'll give towards the end of the story. But the setup of the story is that it's a PR guy whose job it is to reformat the news of this war that's going on in deep space for people on Earth, and they're taking out the really gory stuff and making things seem heroic, and they never show a soldier with an exit wound, but anyone who's being taken away, he was a hero and he saved his platoon, and he sacrificed to save his men, and it's a lot of flag waving and that kind of thing, all completely farcical. Nothing like that happens in the real world. But then he's confronted with the close-up version of this war coming to Earth, and has to deal with it more directly. It's a wartime, and it's a war that's being fought far away, and it's being sort of formatted through PR for the public, and that, without making a statement one way or the other, I mean, is obviously something that happens in our world now. So I think that's the part that I drew from. I found the universe really interesting, and like I said, I started trying to play the game, and I knew that if I did, I wouldn't be getting any work done for a long time, because it was so engaging. But there's so much stuff that they haven't even shown yet to the fans that are going to be in Halo 3 or surrounding it in the novels and things that they have coming up, that it's such a huge, like I said, it's huge, and it's fleshed out, and it's I've worked on other video game projects and a lot of, like I said, licensed projects. I don't think I've ever seen one that was so that brought so much with it, so much rich material. I could do hundreds of stories in that universe. They should make it an ongoing series book. Actually, one of the goals that Bungie had was exactly that, was to enrich their world. And they, like I said, they prepared, and they brought a lot of people and writers and artists in to prepare this universe. And they've been letting it unfold a lot through the games, but like that business model, it applies creatively too. The comic and the books and the video game they're synergistic. They build off each other. I think if you've seen the game, you'll appreciate the book more, and if you get the book, it might lead you to want to try out the game or explore the game, or when you do play the game, give you a richer feeling of that world. I think it stands on its own as a comic. That was important to me too, for people like me that aren't that familiar with all video games. And I think all the other stories in there as well stand on their own. That was important to them and to us. So I guess, yeah, that's about it for that. They go together, peanut butter and jelly.
My name is Jean Giraud. Name is Mobius. I'm a fantasy artist. And I work in that project from the video games Halo. It's some pages with a nice story, and that's all. In fact, I never heard about Halo. I know a little bit about video games, especially because my son is a fan, or was a fan at that time, but I don't know why. Maybe because he doesn't have the Xbox. I think it's a game only for Xbox.
Yeah.
So he don't have the Xbox, so he didn't know. No, I didn't try to translate the graphics from the game. Only the book I had was part sketches made by artists in order to do the games, and pictures from the games with the pixels, you know. So I saw exactly what was the intention from the starting, from the beginning, and the result of the screen. So from that, it was like a documentation, and I did my story, trying to find a style good for the action, the mood, you know, the situation. But I didn't try to translate the game. In fact, the war between Alien and Earth, it's something in the subconscious. It's something very deep. I think it's fear is part of the evolution, you know, because we don't know what is out of our environment. And in the beginning it was next country, the other side of the mountain. Now after it was the other side of the ocean, now it's the other side of space. So it's something we have inside us. But the way the story is told in that story is very interesting because it's through the eyes of a professional witness. He's working for media. And suddenly is not only a witness out of the story, he's inside because he is on Earth. And it's his own life, his own territory is in danger. Also, the story show a little bit the people, children and people involved into the problem. It's, you know, it's very fast, it's a few pages, but we have a little perspective of the problems. I think graphic novel gave a little distance and it becomes something more serious. And in fact, as a publisher, it's a bigger challenge to the graphic novel because you need to find a good paper, good presentation, good cover. You know, it becomes something a little bit more serious as a publishing phenomenon.
Mass Effect is a bright universe with a dark secret.
I'm Raj Joshi, and I'm a producer here at Electronic Arts Los Angeles. I'm working on The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2 on the Xbox 360. Now what we're going to do today is walk you through a few simple steps to get you up and running on the downloadable demo, which is available at Marketplace. So we brought all the depth and complexity that you'd be used to on a real-time strategy game, but we've tailored it for the controller of the Xbox 360. Now there's a lot going on in this game, but we can get you up and running in just a few minutes and get you involved in some of the big battles of Middle-earth. Why don't we take a look at the demo right now? So moving the camera around in this game should be pretty intuitive to anybody who's held a console controller before. The left stick is going to move the camera around, and the right stick will rotate and zoom. Left and right rotating, and up and down will zoom in and out. To select a unit, we'll just highlight over one of the units in the game. He gets a highlight pad underneath him, and then we just hit the A button to select him. Once he's selected, to move him, we just use the left stick to find a spot on the map, hit the A button, and he's on his way. Since we've selected a builder, he has a little more added functionality. To access that functionality, I'm going to pull in and hold that right trigger, and use the D-pad to scroll over to build a goblin cave here. I'm just going to find a place for it, since you can build anywhere in this game, and then press the A button to select to build. Now while that's building, we've figured out how to move one unit around, but really this game's about moving tons of units at any given time. So I'm going to come up here and pull in and hold my left trigger. That's going to highlight everybody I see on screen. Hitting the A button will confirm my selection and select everybody. To move them, the same way as I move the builder, just find a place on the map, hit the A button, and they're on their way. Now I've hit the X button here to snap to my selection. I love to snap to my selection, especially when they're moving through the level, so I can get a really close look on what's going on, and I can also get kind of a cinematic feel. Oftentimes we're going to be playing this game in our living room. This usually makes it a little more entertaining for the people who are watching. Alright, it looks like the elves aren't really happy with our presence, so to attack them, we just simply highlight them and hit the A button. The way our camera controls are set up, it's really easy to get close in on the battle. Now I find myself rotating the camera quite a bit in this game. So for those of us who aren't used to rotating the camera, in case anybody gets disoriented, we can just click down on the right thumbstick and that'll reorient the camera north and also pull the camera back out for us. We've done pretty well in that battle, but we've taken a few losses, so I'm just going to regroup our forces up back here near the base. Now while they're moving on the way up, instead of making you watch me rebuild all of my units, I've actually stashed a few units up here towards the top of the map. So to select them and move them down with the rest of our units, I'm actually going to show you a different way of selecting. If I were to highlight over one unit and press and hold down the A button, I'll get the paintbrush icon. Now moving my cursor over other units while holding that A button will just paint select these other units into our selection set. This is something similar to the marquee select that you would find on a PC RTS. Alright, now that everybody's selected, let's move them down with the rest of our units and group everybody up and try and go and kick some more elven butt. Now while they're moving down, I'm going to show you yet another way to select everybody. In the same way that we selected everybody on screen, I'm going to pull in and hold that left trigger. While I'm holding in that left trigger, if I were to double tap A, that would select all of our units regardless of where they are on the screen or in the mission. Now that everybody's selected, I'm going to move them and get them into place to attack our elven enemies that are waiting for us across the river. Once I find where I want to place them, I can press and hold down the A button. The formation preview allows me to set up my units in a strategic way that'll be best for battle. By moving the stick left to right, I can change the orientation of my units. And by moving up and down, I can change the width and the depth of my units. Once I find a setup that I like, I let go of the A button, and that enables my units to move into place into the formation. I'm going to hit the X button again here to track them on their way down. Now while our units are setting up, I did want to touch on the fact that even though I've had a pre-built army that we've been using here, really building and customizing your army to your own needs and desires is really what this game's all about. There's a lot of fun picking out your individual units and figuring out exactly how you want to structure your army. Okay, it looks like our units are almost into place here. And now once they're set up, we can decide how we would like to attack our enemy. We can move the camera and we can highlight our enemy as we did the earlier elven attacks. Or we can move our cursor just past our enemy and double click the A button. That'll leave a cursor behind on the ground letting us know that we just did an attack move. This will tell our units to attack every enemy along their way until they hit the point that we've selected. Now it looks like our units are rushing right in to attack these elves. Now we can let them attack all at once, or we can use our units to their distinct advantages. So I can select a troll here, change him to be a close range attack, and then get him to select a tree and have a tree be his weapon. Trolls are really a lot of fun. Get them to pick up trees, use them as baseball bats. You can even get them to toss goblins as their weapon. It looks like our troops are making quick work of the elven tree houses and the elven forces. We're doing pretty well on our way to the final objective of this mission, which is to recapture Lothlorien. That was just a taste of the single-player mission in the downloadable demo. But remember, it's just a sliver of the main game, as there's 8 missions in both the good and the evil campaigns. And let's not forget about multiplayer. We've given you 1 multiplayer map for you to try your hand at some online play. In the main game, there's 40 multiplayer maps and 5 different multiplayer modes. Hope you've enjoyed this demo and hope it's been instructive as well. If you want a more in-depth, step-by-step look at the game, we have included a basic tutorial for you. Hope you enjoy playing our game, and I hope to see you online for some multiplayer action.
Best of 3 games, 7 points to win. Service China. Net. One serving 0. Net. England down by 2. Out. 0 serving 3. Service China. 3 serving 2. Fall. England to serve. Three serving 4. Looping to serve. Game point. 6 serving 3.